are back, Black. We made it back. Another day, another 10 cents. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation, doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to Vegas. All my siblings, everybody in Vegas, handling business. Shout out to the homegirl, Jerica. Man, shout out to my brother Dave from No Compromise. Joe's in the building. James Youngblood, Texas, definitely in the building. Shout out to the homegirl, Shawnee. Philly is definitely in the building. Shout out to the homegirl, Erica. Florida, a.k.a. Florida, is definitely in the building. Shout out to the homegirl, Melina, all the way in North Carolina, a.k.a. North Kakalaka, definitely in the building. Shout out to everybody, man. Handling business, man. We got something to talk about. Crash or racism? Did your boy Andrew Schultz crash out? Or was it just plain old racism? Let's get it. Man, there's just so much going on in the world. Man, you see that dude from that CEO? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all need to understand the day of fucking the worker bee over is coming to a halt. There's about to be more of that shit going on if we don't start to have a moral compass about who we are and how we treat people. Just because you're in this position of fictitious power or power does not give you the temerity or the gumption or the right or any of that, to treat your lower level employees the way you do, to the point to where somebody want to be waiting outside for you with that thing on them. So it's like, maybe it's just different because most foundational Black Americans, we always start from the bottom. We can't work at a company for 15, 20 years and then all of a sudden become the CEO of any company. That just doesn't happen. And if it does, it's all these stipulations and they make you walk through the valley of fire and persecute you and baptize you and do all this other sucker shit. Y'all got to go read this book, The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. He talks about that. He interviewed a lot of Black people that worked on Wall Street and worked for these Fortune 500 companies, and they just all got dogged out. They got treated fucked up. So most people in that situation, with whatever that man's name is, most people are kind of like, oh man, that's fucked up, and they gonna keep it moving. And you like, of course you're like, well, damn, that's cold. Well, the world is cold. We have to understand that. The world is cold. The United States of America was built off of harshness and coldness and lacking of moral compass, lacking of having a moral compass. How they built this country, they weren't morally correct to make a racial group build everything and then beat their asses and rape the women. And no, they weren't morally in the right zone and phase and mentally, because they felt like we were beneath them. So when you fast forward in 400 years or so, and then that happens to somebody that's the CEO and they're part of the dominant society, most Black folk gonna be looking at them upside their head, and they're gonna be looking at the corporation upside their head, because what has taken place is now has exposed a lot of different corporations. I bet you other corporations, they ain't gonna be traveling and going to no damn. First of all, this is with any corporation. If you're having retreats and all this other shit, and you're dealing with your stock investors and you're going to these nice, lovely hotels on the company's dime, you're wrong for it. And I don't give a fuck who you are. You're wrong. You can do that over Zoom. You can do that over Zoom. You can do that on Instagram Live and invite everybody to the conversation. But all this meeting up and pretending like you working on company business when really you drinking, tricking, kicking it, stop. On the company dime, we know what you're doing. So no, I don't feel bad for any corporation who allows people to be in charge that has no moral compass or lacking of a moral compass. Warren, what do you mean? You always say moral compass, meaning, hey man, that's not a good look for us to be meeting somewhere and flying around on the company's dime. And hey man, that's not a good look. We up here at the top getting paid all this bread and we ain't really doing shit. And we got the job because of the color of our skin, not because we're an actual good worker. So I just want to start off with that, man, because a lot of people, have it twisted, and I don't. Look at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo had an employee dead for 3 days before they even realized she was at her cubicle dead for 3 days. They didn't even know she was dead because they didn't give a fuck. It's so funny how they'll lack a moral compass, but then when it get to you, give you a speech on moral compass and how it's always about the customer. You know, that type of shit. But, dog, if you treating your employees fucked up, I'm going to just tell you this, and we going to move to the next subject. Attitude reflects leadership. And I rest my case on that. Now, let's talk about the crash out with Andrew Schultz. I don't need to play no audio. This doesn't surprise me. I remember when brother Tariq Nasheed and him, they had basically like a debate. And Tariq was killing him. He was just killing him. See, this is what I mean about black folk befriending people like this for business. Sometimes it ain't business. Because let me tell you something, the dominant society, the dominant Jewish society, they're not going to befriend no other group if you even remotely think about saying something negatively about the dominant society, white Jewish community. But we always tend to do, and I get it, we trying to get that bag, but this guy, Andrew Schultz, I never really thought he was funny. He reminds me of one of those typical dominant society white boys that get around black people and observe and don't say nothing until somebody calls him out on his bullshit. Then it's this whole barrage of animosity, the racial undertones of how he was speaking. He even made references. I might play the video just so y'all can hear it. He even made references like, oh, well, yeah, like hip hop music has really been kind to black women. I don't give a fuck if hip hop is saying fuck black bitches all day long. That's something we will deal with our black women. You don't have a right to come into our culture as a guest. This is exactly why. Where's Eminem at? Eminem should have been the first person to be like, bro, stay in your place. You're the reason why black people look at white people like that. This isn't comedy. So, no, you're trying to spin it off to make it comedy, but it's not funny. See, where are the John Browns of the world? I don't need you being no recluse. Where are you at, Eminem? This white boy is talking real reckless about the culture that you've made a lot of money on. So where are you at? Show us a sign of good faith. I don't need you coming out with Obama. I don't need no imagery. Where are you? Where are white people that's like, hey man, that's their culture and that's what they want to do. Cool. But we don't need you saying shit like that because that's a reflection on other white people that actually love the culture. That dude, Peter Rosenberg from Hot 97, he kind of let him have it a little bit. He was just like, you don't even know this culture. You don't even know what's going on. So you don't have a right to say any of that shit. So I do give Peter Rosenberg that. I think he started off as a crash out. I really do. I think he started out as a crash out, and then I think the racism, white supremacy started. You know what I mean? Okay, hold on. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can find something.
Oh my gosh,
no, well, we ain't find no. I don't want to hear no motherfucking commercials. So, y'all can get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Man, y'all better get to it. Man, motherfuckers be... Oh, my God, dog. Y'all not even... Man, play the actual... This is exactly why. That's why I'm glad I ain't play it. Hold on. Let's see. Andrew Schultz. Man. No, not Peter Rosenberg. No. Okay, here we go. Let's see what he says. I'm going to play it so y'all can hear it. And it's a nigga sitting up there co-signing the shit. He probably a non-FBA. And motherfuckers wonder why black folk are the way that they are. You know what I mean? And that while we're delineating from other groups, because I'm not finna sit on nobody's couch and just allow you to disrespect niggas like that and be like, nah, dog, you taking it too far, bro. Y'all probably shouldn't be saying that. Because no, we don't agree. Because when you say it, it's always racial undertones when white people tend to want to say shit about black folk. There's a racial undertone because of slavery. So you shouldn't say it. But here, let's play it. Let's play it. Like I said, no, I don't agree with nothing Andrew Schultz said. I ain't never liked Andrew Schultz. I never thought he was funny, and he reminded me of them typical sarcastic white boys who hides behind comedy when really it's nothing but racism, white supremacy, and anti-black racism undertone bottled up with anti-black racism, white supremacy. That's what it reminds me of. I've been around people like that before, and I've called them out quickly. Like, nah, dog, like, no. And then they know, okay, well, I can't do that with that motherfucker. No, you can't.
Going on? Huh? Yeah, between Kendrick Lamar.
Laws were written.
Laws were written.
Laws were written.
I don't like him pretending he doesn't know what the fuck's going on with his little milk mustache. It's just been pissing me off. Okay?
You see what I'm saying? It just, of course, dominant society people gonna be on cold. See, you know what I find funny? Everybody, Kendrick. Well, where the fuck are all the fans at? Not the black fans. Where are all you other racial groups at? Where the Latinos at? Where the Latinos at that he paid homage to? Where are y'all at? Why are y'all not speaking up and being like, hey, dog, that's racist? I'm a big-time Kendrick Lamar fan, and I know about racism, white supremacy, and it's real, and he meant what he said, and I stand behind that shit. Stop telling me that you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, but you allowing a motherfucker to take something as sensitive as a motherfucker like shit. No white person say shit about no white community and say shit about no black woman. That's law. Man.
Is it on there? No, listen.
See, as I play this, I want y'all to listen to the racial undertones and the overly sarcasm. I want you to pay attention to how he's hiding it as a joke. But listen to how passionate he is. Because if it's a joke, he'd just be like, dude, it was a joke. My bad. My bad, Kendrick. No disrespect. Let's move on. But listen.
No, see, guys, we gotta take this serious. Listen, rappers are telling comedians we need to be more respectful to women. So we gotta sit back and reflect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're the most pious group.
Listen, nobody has respected women.
And he's on stage with an East Indian, what looks like to me. That's why no motherfucker wouldn't vote for no Kamala. Go watch this footage. See, these people are honorary anti-black racists. They're honorary. So they love to pile on us. They will all get together to make fun of some black folk and stick it to us every chance they get. But don't you dare say something about some Indian motherfucker, or don't you dare say something about another racial group. Then it's like, oh, you guys are racist. But that's impossible. Black folk cannot be. Foundational black Americans cannot be racist. We have no power. Racism is the competition of resources if you follow Dr. Claude Anderson's books. And we don't own no resources. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit.
More. Through art.
Yes.
Than rappers, okay?
Absolutely.
So I completely understand how a rapper could look at a comedian telling a joke and be like, yo, y'all need to switch that shit up.
Yeah.
How dare y'all keep saying your wives are annoying? Be more.
You see how he tried to make it seem like, oh, or what? No, he was talking about black women. And you notice how he is categorizing all rap like everybody's like, fuck that bitch and all. You notice that? This is exactly why when the other racial groups come around you, question them. I remember one time I worked at this corn plantation. I was working in this warehouse, and this dude was talking about, he's big time, Tupac fan. I understand. I understood his perspective. I just really listened. And then I said, so you're just a fan because it's entertainment for you, correct? He's like, well, what do you mean by that? I was like, well, it's entertainment for you. It's real life for me. So I don't necessarily have to know every lyric to every Tupac song. But what he's went through is similar. There's a common denominator there. But to other racial groups, it's just entertainment. See, you're a fan from the exterior situation. You're not having no type of understanding or wanting to have an understanding of the black plight. You just like that music entertains you and it makes you feel cool. That's what it is. He didn't even know what to say. But, oh, man, you know what? Damn, why you going hard? Man, I'm going hard because People always be talking about they a Tupac fan. They're a Tupac fan. Well, did you know what he stood for? Just say you're a fan of his music. You like, Warren, why are you saying it? The reason why I'm saying this is because you have people like Andrew Schultz and other racial groups who pretend like they like Kendrick Lamar. Where are all these fans at that's like, hey, you out of pocket. And why the fuck are you speaking on him? Because everybody's scared because it's a white boy. So don't nobody want to come out and be like, man, fuck that motherfucker. He ain't fucking funny. And a motherfucker. And why y'all fucking with him then? If you a Kendrick Lamar fan, what you fucking with him for?
Like us and, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. I beat.
See, he's quoting lyrics. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That's why that type of motherfucker right there is the reason why you better understand they will come amongst you and be an agent provocateur in hiding, in secret. And as soon as you say something to them, they gonna bring up your whole, look at how you guys act and all that. So cause a nigga saying bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, that gives you the right to degrade or say something about black women. You still don't have a right to say that. What happened with Kanye when he started talking shit about the dominant Jewish community, the dominant white society Jewish community? What happened to him? JP Morgan told him to come get his money. Here, you can have your money. You can't have your money in our bank. And nobody spoke up for him. Nobody stood up for him or nothing. Everybody sat there and watched him crash out and everybody talk shit about him. But ain't nobody saying nothing about this motherfucker, though.
My bitch with a stick, what? You can lick on the nuts or suck the dick. I beat my bitch with a stick, what?
Did you just think of that?
That's a real lyric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a real lyric from music that protects women. And for decades, protects women.
And Kendrick Lamar doesn't even make music like that. I can see if you mention like The Game or early Snoop, you know what I'm saying, or Too Short or something like that, or E40. I can see the context of basically like, well, this is the music that I've listened to, but even if you did listen to that music, that's letting me know you're listening to the music under the guise of anti-black racism and Magnum PI, aka Knight Rider, aka pet detective type bullshit, aka detective head. Because the reason why I'm saying it is because you're not keeping it in context. You're taking it out of context. And what you're doing is you're grouping bitches ain't shit but hoes and trick or a Sugar Free with a Talib Kweli or a Mos Def or a Nasir Jones. You know what I'm saying? Or a Kendrick or a J. Cole. I don't hear J. Cole pushing that type of narrative. There's different rap genres, but you're taking it all and making it one. And then you're looking at the black dude on the show, and the black dude is probably so happy to be there, he ain't going to go against him because, to me, you're not a confident black brother, because if you were, you'd be like, dog, you taking it out of context because you're making it seem like it's just one rap. There's different genres. So you mean to tell me that Mos Def and Talib Kweli and Common and Nas, you mean to tell me those guys who are very famous and we all know, they're not making songs like bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. So why are you saying that like that? And Nas is one of the greatest lyricists ever. What about Rakim? KRS-One. What you're doing is you're making us one big fucking nigga. Like, oh, well, look at, that's like saying, what about Public Enemy? That, to me, it's almost like saying like everybody rap like Sugar Free and Too Short. That's not true. That's not true. And you're taking it out of context, and I don't like it.
And listen, right now the guy on top, Kung Fu Kenny.
He is the guy on top.
He is the guy.
He is making sure that comedians, he put a law in.
Yeah.
He put a law in place.
All right, let's see the exact line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law.
Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English,
Okay.
he is saying, I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black
So
woman.
he's basically saying all white comedians
Are only allowed to
talk about black women.
exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're back.
That's what I'm talking about.
You see how they're trying to, and the black dude ain't saying shit. That can't be no FBA, because he ain't saying nothing. He's just standing there. And I'm interested to see when they're going to have a panel and what Charlemagne the God gonna say. Because I know Charlemagne the God wouldn't just sit up there and let him attack him that way. That's one thing about Charlemagne. He if you're the antagonist, he'll be the protagonist. He's not gonna just pile on. He's gonna give you the yin and the yang. I'll give him that part. I don't think he would allow this man to do that. But these other motherfuckers are jumping. Where are my East Indian motherfuckers at? Where y'all at? Why ain't nobody calling that East Indian out and being like, hey man, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know how racist and white supremacy is. And if black people are sensitive about their shit, they have a right to be. They were enslaved and made and forced to build this country for free, and they still haven't gotten paid. And we're over here because of them, and you're gonna be sitting up here laughing with him? Nah. They're not going to call him out. They're going to sit up there and laugh too. And I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other racial groups laughing too. Because they don't even really like Kendrick Lamar. They're just piling on because Kendrick just happens to be the man right now. That's all that is.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands
It's
it.
a law. Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
Oh, that makes
Because
sense.
he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
See, if I was on there, I would say, and don't y'all have people like Kyle Rittenhouse? But you don't see us out there running amongst and shooting people. Don't y'all got people like Jeffrey Dahmer? Or the Hillside Strangler? Do we need to go on and on and on? Y'all culture is probably the most volatile, backbiting, immoral culture in the world. But you want to talk about a rapper telling you, hey man, that's law. We shouldn't allow people to say that. See, what you're trying to say is, oh, well since you talk about you, we can talk about our women. I would have said, well, if somebody was to say something about the white Jewish community, it seems like y'all all get upset and turn the tables on us. But when we defend who we are, y'all get offended like y'all should have a right to say whatever the fuck y'all want to say about black people. I never liked this motherfucker, man. I just always used to be like, that's a sinister motherfucker. When you've been around white people like that, you know, like, yeah, I've been around motherfuckers like you. You a sucker motherfucker. And you gonna meet the wrong motherfucker, and they either gonna put hands on you or they gonna destroy you intellectually. And then all it's gonna take is one person to destroy his career, because I know he wouldn't say that shit about Cat Williams. He wouldn't even want to battle with Cat Williams. Cat Williams would destroy him. That's why I'm like, man, where are these people at?
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan if he's
true.
going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
Basically what he's saying, y'all, because he's doing a comedy with the Boondocks or whatever, then I should have a right to fucking talk shit about black women too. That's their logic.
Yeah, that's fact.
But Al, you're getting groomed right now. We need to ungroom you.
Yeah, you are getting
We need to
groomed.
ungroom you right now. Okay? I mean it.
Al is a Sambo.
Listen, because he sent people, he says, slide on. What he said, slide on. Where's the line? Where's the line? He goes, let me get it. I'm so old I had to squint my eyes. And that was not a racist joke. Okay. The N-words that being groomed, slide on both of them. Whoa. That seems like a call to violence.
It does.
Why would he call to, if he's about protecting black people, why would the call to violence be towards the black dudes, not the white guy making the joke?
Well, you gotta understand.
What?
Well, no. You gotta understand.
Because I snitch. I cooperate. I tell.
Litigation.
Okay? You go squabble up in a jail cell.
Here's what you gotta understand about Ken. It's very important to him to protect black women. That's why he's never done a song with an abuser confirmed. He's never done a song
thank
with
God.
anybody
Thank God.
that's
And this is an East Indian talking, by the way, or a Pakistani, but he's definitely not foundational of nothing. And I would love to see what his culture is, because I'd be like, well, why y'all over here talking about Kendrick, who's from here, who's foundational black American, whose people built this country for free without repayment? Why are you not helping out your homeland, sir? Like, why are y'all all over here? That's why I love the fact that Donald Trump is in office because they're an equal opportunity racist, which means while you running your mouth and you're probably an anchor baby co-signing, this is what I mean about other racial groups being honorary white supremacists. Because y'all get around white people and y'all like to tell the nigga jokes and laugh at black people and then do the latest dance that comes out that black people create. This is the shit that I'm talking about.
Suspected of abuse.
Thank
He's
God.
never threatened to remove his music from Spotify because
God.
they removed R. Kelly's music, who for sure fucked and held captive underage black women.
Hold on.
This is all very important to.
And what about Elvis fucking a 14-year-old and marrying her and lying and saying we sleep in different bedrooms? And my question always is that after you got the pussy, y'all sleep in a separate bedroom? Stop. Didn't Elvis also say the only thing that a nigga could do is shine his shoes? Isn't that what Elvis said? You guys is king of whatever the fuck he is. He ain't nothing but the king of stealing. Oh, like the drummer from the Foo Fighters who said he got his a drum pattern from the Gap Band because they studied them. That's why I just be like, y'all are not the originators of anything. But here you are trying to make fun of black people, and then you got a black man on stage who's definitely a Sambo. I would have been like, ain't none of this shit funny, and I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I'd have walked off that fucking stage and been like, nah, dog, that shit ain't funny, homie. Man.
Wait, just let me understand what's going on here, because I think that you're using sarcasm as a comedic device.
It is a comedic device.
But you're so fucking smart right now that I don't know if you're serious or making jokes. Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and rape?
Show your daughter how much you love her.
See how they do? Man, it should be so many black people in his comments. It should be so many celebrities like, that shit ain't funny. I don't give a fuck if you are a comedian. That shit ain't funny to me. So nah, where are these people at?
Of R. Kelly. And actually, in reality, he would take his own.
So let's talk about Harvey Weinstein, one of your buddies. Don't have me play it again. Sit down. This is what Harvey Weinstein. Y'all remember I had that? Remember I was playing that audio, David, all y'all, Erica, Tasha, y'all remember? Remember when Harvey Weinstein was first going through that shit, and that one of those women basically went in there and wore a wire, and then somebody leaked the audio footage on YouTube, and I played it, and she was like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Sit down. Let me make you a drink. Let me give you a massage. Make you comfortable. Sit down. But I'm tired. Sit down. I'll make you a drink. And what do you want to go for? Sit down. I'll make you comfortable. Y'all remember that shit? You notice the motherfucker ain't bringing up none of that sucker shit, but he want to bring up R. Kelly, who your people aided and abetted. Since he was doing all that shit, the dominant society runs the record industry, so why didn't any of those white people that were owners of the record labels say, nope, R. Kelly, you will not make any more music and you will turn yourself in because we do not condone that behavior? No, y'all profited off the man, and then when you guys were tired of them, then you turned them in. Let's talk about all these people that were at Pedophile Island. Why are we not talking about these people? Why are we not talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and all the people that was flying to they fucking island and all the bullshit? I'm pretty sure it's way more dominant society people than white folk flying there and playing with little children. So please don't bring up R. Kelly, because we can talk about all kinds of dominant society people that do the most illicit, immoral things that any person could imagine.
Music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Someone who's kidnapped,
A sexual
molested,
predator? Yeah.
and black women? Oof.
He's never kidnapped. He's R. Kelly. He does not have to kidnap any woman. And as we saw on those documentaries that they did about R. Kelly, didn't we see black parents sending their kids up there to R. Kelly? And weren't those kids already 18 years old, a lot of them. And then they were sending their kids to R. Kelly when they were kids. So if they didn't know, right? Let's say they didn't know all the intricate details, but it was all over the news about R. Kelly. You can Google R. Kelly and a lot of that stuff would come up. Why would people continuously send their kids to R. Kelly? And why did the record labels not stop it? Because you don't think that they knew? Stop. See, he's not mentioning them, but he wants to keep mentioning R. Kelly. I'm waiting to see who's going to combat this. I'm waiting to see. Who's going to respond to Andrew Schultz?
Children.
Are you saying that he's done songs with other men who have potentially put hands on black
Not
women?
potentially, confirmed.
Wait a minute, convicted?
Yeah, I don't know what you call Chris Brown, but yeah, whatever that is.
Not Breezy.
See? Y'all see? Even though that non-FBA sister was bopping him upside the head with a big-ass sidekick, nobody talks about that. But now, you see, this is what they do, y'all. This is what they do. You're like, well, why you hyped? Because I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of everybody from other racial groups acting like they love our culture, love us so much, but they don't never come around to defend us. So go support your own shit. We don't need that shit. Get the fuck on. Where the fuck are all these other racial groups that are so-called Kendrick Lamar fans? And somebody should be like, hey, dog, we need to have a conversation. Because all that shit that you said wasn't funny. And see, he's one of those type of white boys where a motherfucker really approach him. He'll be like, dude, he'll call the police on you. And then he'll fucking go call Charlamagne the guy like, dude, I think I shouldn't have said that.
Not Breezy. I took a picture with Chris Brown. Hey, bro, I took a picture with him immediately.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
We ain't protecting nobody. Y'all can protect your fucking selves.
Everybody gets these jokes over here.
Yo,
No, everybody does not get those jokes, because if somebody was to make a dominant society white Jewish community joke, they'd be canceled. So no, you don't have permission to say shit about no black women because you're not black and this isn't your culture.
this guy been telling me for a year straight Indians fuck mud. What you gonna do?
Didn't I tell you he was an Indian? Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that he was an Indian? And didn't I tell you these racial groups come here and they want to be honorary white supremacists? They want to be white supremacists in training. That's what they want to be because they know the hierarchy. So they'll come around black people and do the dances and rap and, oh, Nas is my favorite player. And then they'll join up with the dominant society and they'll change that whole mentality.
Listen, they going down on it too.
And I don't know why you as an East Indian would say anything. Your homeland is, I'd rather eat out of a dumpster.
I've seen a lot of videos of them eating mud pussy, bro. They literally put their head in the mud straight. Reverse.
Bro, hey, at least
Back
we're going,
handspring.
At least we're going down on
That's a
Sunday.
Kama Sutra.
Hey, at least we go down, Jamaicans. You know what I mean? Learn a lesson.
Oh, you better,
Whoa.
you better watch out.
Whoa. What the bumbleclot is going on? You can't call out Jamaicans for something they're proud of.
That's true. That's true. My bad. My
You know
bad.
what I mean?
My bad.
That's super racist. Al, can you speak on that as a Puerto Rican?
I
That's
believe
near
I could
Jamaica?
fly out this podcast right now because this is crazy, but keep cooking.
And see, he's a Puerto Rican or whatever. He's not a foundational black American. He's a Sambo, ladies and gentlemen.
Al, we have to protect you. They're trying to slide on you, bro.
Whoa.
They're trying to. This is nuts, dude. This is. And listen, you're
Yo, that's their
distracting.
splish splash.
Where's the Swiss flash? I'm gonna be honest. These kids look Asian.
I mean,
I mean, they technically.
the other Asians.
I agree with you. I'm with you on that. Anyway, can we get back to something that's really important? Because there's a huge beef on the internet right now that we really need to address.
That's true.
Is
You know
another
what I mean?
beef?
There's not. I don't think there's another beef, but you don't know.
This is the only one I
Kendrick
heard
is
people
so
talking
layered.
about.
And that's all I'm going to play. That's all I'm going to play. I just wanted to break that down for y'all. I just wanted to break that down. I know I went over, but I really wanted to break that down. I felt like it was needed. Now this one, I meant everything that I said. And I have no problem with any other racial group. Like I said, I've been around white people and Asian people and, you know what I mean? That's, very respectful. And they to my face, and they not finna say no shit like that. And if they even are thinking it, they're gonna try to question it, but question it in such a respectful way, right? we've been around those people, but we've always been around. We've all also been around people like him, who has that one black friend or another black friend, and then since you got that one black friend, you feel like you've been co-signed in, so now you can start talking shit about our culture. That's not how it works. So we need to understand that, man. Hey, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it ain't. Guilty, nigga. Leave your comments. I'm out. Peace.